What is up guys, welcome back today to another video on... Yeah, let's try that again. What is up guys, welcome back today to another video on this channel. Hope you're all doing amazing and fantastic. That fast enough for you? So in this video, we're going to be going over Don't Lose Your Mind, Lose Your Weight by Rujuta Diwekar. I cannot even begin to describe how awesome this book is. If you're looking for a book on nutrition, this is worth all of your time and money. Without any further ado, let's jump into the video and talk a little bit more about this book. Well, before we jump into the video, it takes a long time to make these videos and to come up with scripts for these videos. So it's super appreciated if you go down and hit the subscribe button. Hope you've done that. Into the video. Now, before I start talking about all the essentials of this book, I want to talk a little bit about the author, Rujuta Diwekar. She's a winner of the Nutrition Award from the Asian Institute of Gastroenterology. She's India's leading sports science and nutrition expert and one of the most followed nutritionists in the world. She's also a best-selling author and the country's foremost and best speaker on fitness. So that's a little background to Rujuta Diwekar, and she's helped so many celebrities get into perfect shape by giving them simple techniques which we will discuss in this book. This book is short, precise, easy to understand, simple, and it talks about almost everything you can when you talk about a diet. Now, not a diet in the way regular people talk about. In this book, Rujuta has gone through so many steps to bust all the previous myths and things that people start imagining when they hear the word diet. Like, say for example, some people go through all of those things like crash diets, detox juices, detox diets. All of that kind of stuff has been completely busted in this book. Like sugar-free products or exotic products, those are all marketing techniques to sell a product. She's put forth all of her points and backed them with solid scientific explanation and evidence, proving that they are not all ramblings of someone. And she's backed so many of them up with Ayurveda, which is like extremely interesting to understand while you're reading this book. There are so many things that you can change, like small habits that you can change, which will lead to just you losing your weight and not losing your mind over losing your weight, not going crazy. It's just absolutely amazing. And the best part is she has gone through all of those previous food myths that I mentioned about. She's busted all of them, proving that all they are is a marketing gimmick. And you need to understand that all of those sugar-free products are not actually sugar-free. They're just to entice you into buying a product. You need to be smart in the game of losing your weight. As I mentioned, this book is the epitome of simplicity. It is simple to understand, and there are also lots of bar graphs, charts and tables and techniques written in tabular form to break the monotony of reading 250 pages of just words. She's made it clear that no food which is eatable is unhealthy in a sense. Even stuff like oils, fats, butter and all those kind of products which are considered non-nutrition and which make you fat, they aren't actually what the myth says. All you have to do is eat them at the right time and the right amount. That is what all of us, that's the knowledge we all lack. We don't know how much to eat and at what time to eat. And good news for those of you with a sweet tooth, you don't have to cut back on all those sweets like crazy. You just need to know when and how to eat them and how much to eat them every single time. So I wanted to talk about the back of the book and then go into a little bit more tips which are given in this book, the intricacies of this book. So it's the book that's taken the country by storm. For the first time comes a diet book from Rujuta Diwekar that teaches you how to lose weight without giving up on all those tasty foods that you love. All you have to do is follow 4 simple rules to eating right. Soon you'll be eating all you want and still shedding those kilos. Full of practical advice, fascinating insights and funny anecdotes. Don't lose your mind, lose your weight gives you the ultimate zero deprivation diet. Just the last words, the zero deprivation diet is what explains it all. You don't have to go crazy cutting back on the things you love. That is the fundamental point in this book. One super interesting thing I read in this book was don't drink your fruits, eat them. This book has a total of 6 topics including those 4 principles that they spoke about. along with 250 pages, and there are lots of tables and graphs induced into this book, as well as funny anecdotes. So it's just overall makes for a wonderful read. Now the book that I have here is a paperback. It has 250 pages. The font is pretty reasonably big and you can finish it quite fast, but I will get to that point in a minute, because this is not a fiction book. Hang on, let me just put this right here. Right, so this has compiled data in tabular form to stop the monotony, as I mentioned, and the monotony needs to be broken by you as well, because first of all we have to understand this is not a fiction book. So the way you read fiction books, you sit down, you take some time out in your day, or start from page number 1 and read all the way till page 100, 400 and something. So you're just trying to read a story, so you're just trying to gain the information from that, read the storyline, and then probably continue with the next book or just end the storybook right there. So you read from page number 1 to page 400 in a span of a few days or maybe a few hours. You shouldn't do it with this book. What you need to do is take things slow. Read about, say for example, 2 principles or 1 principle and apply it to your life. See how beneficial it is. See how much you can alter it according to your own life. See how interesting you find making all these small changes. Because if you're reading 6 different topics, it's not something you have to read, put it on the shelf and just go around saying, I've read this book, it's really interesting, so on and so forth. You need to use all of that because it's something you can use. Like reading Artemis Fowl is obviously amazing, but you have to escape out of that world back to reality. So this book is reality. You need to be doing everything that is in this book. So take your time, read it carefully. You need your full attention on this. So you can't have social media running at the same time, TVs running at the same time, or eating food at the same time while you're reading this book, because that just removes your attention from one thing. Because if you're on social media at the same time, you're not paying attention to the book. You're paying attention there as well, you're paying attention to TV, you're paying attention while eating food, you're paying attention to the people playing around you. Just keep it calm, keep it simple, read it away from distractions, and that's just about it. Now for the age criteria of this book, it is 13 plus, and but it's obviously like 13 plus, and you can explain that data to anyone. Like let's say you have a younger sibling who's like 8 or 9 years old. You can go around explaining all of those fundamental facts to them in a simplistic way. Maybe they might not understand it while reading the book, but they might understand it from you. You can go around teaching adults. Adults can read this book and teach their children or teach children around them the values in this book. So basically I would say if you wanted to read the book firsthand, you'd have to go for the 13 plus category. Otherwise you can just simply explain it to anyone. Now I wanted to give 5 tips that I found helpful in this book, which are super interesting and they are super easy to apply. Not going to be giving you something hard like lift 100 kilos every day and just start pumping lots of weights. That's not what I'm going to do. What I wanted to say was super simple. Tip number 1 is give your stomach food every 2 hours. Your stomach needs that, and it's just really helpful to get your digestive system working all the time, so it's just not stationary for half of the time and then you just stuff it with food. And it doesn't mean like you take a whole meal, like you have an entire meal and you're eating a meal every hour. Just keep eating fruits, or maybe keep eating small things, like maybe you took a little bit out of a banana here, a little bit out of an apple here, you cut up an apple, you cut up a banana, you cut up a guava, anything like that. You just keep filling your stomach. Tip number 2 is eat a fruit 10 minutes after you get up. Like you get up, you brush and everything, you get up, you come out, and 10 minutes after that you eat a fruit. The reason for this is this immediately boosts up your blood glucose level in the morning. You can replace this with your coffee, your morning coffee or your morning tea. Replace it with a fruit. I know some people have this habit that they want to wake up and drink tea. Every evening they're drinking tea, and it's just not good. Just replace it with a fruit, and that helps a lot. Eat homemade breakfast over something like cereal, because cereal of course is packaged food. It's from outside, you don't know what it's made of exactly, you don't know how many preservatives have been added into it. So prefer homemade meals. Try to eat lesser and lesser of cereals or porridge and all those type of stuff. Tip number 4, have a cooling drink before lunch. Drink something like buttermilk, or just have lots of cold water or something. This helps your stomach prepare for lunch. And step number 5 is finally eat at least 2 hours before your bedtime. The reason for this is this allows your digestive processes to start before you go off to sleep. Because if it's like you eat and then you immediately sleep, your digestive processes are working all the way throughout the night. They don't get that rest that they need. So give it some time before your bedtime, and just eat 2 hours before you actually go and lie down in that comfy bed. Overall, if I had to give a few descriptions of how this book is or how other people have found it, here are a few reviews that people have given, and they're written at the back of the book. So one is readable, funny, well organized, sensible, and persuasive. Like I said, well organized. Those tables and that tabular form information, super helpful to understand everything. Like, she explains it and then you have a perfect table to understand everything. Not just a delightful road, but is full of handy solutions on how to lose weight without giving up your favorite food. The essence of this book. A book that challenges you to lose weight, that too without excluding carbs. Inspiring. The New Diet Bible. So it's basically, people have found this super helpful, and the copy that I have here is just bought when it actually originally launched, and at that time only over 200,000 copies had already been sold. It's been quite a time since I've had this book, and I'm pretty sure it would have crossed a much bigger number than this. So if you're looking for a simple solution to stop losing your mind over losing weight, obviously nowadays what happens is losing weight is not exactly like becoming thin while exercising. Losing weight can mean you lost some muscle weight, like some muscle mass. Maybe you aren't exercising enough and you're losing muscle mass. That is also losing weight. So right now it's losing fat, like you need to lose all of that extra fat that's all around you. So losing that has never been easier unless you've read this book. So it's basically trying to tell you that try to lose your fat, don't start to lose your mind on how to lose your fat. Because nowadays people are trying to going through so many solutions, like I mentioned, those crash diets, detox juices, detox diets, so much false information out there, and people are getting confused. This book is trying to break all those myths and tell you to stop going crazy, sit down, do some simple things to get your life in order. Just super easy. On that note, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it and found it informative. If I've convinced you on how amazing this book is, make sure you go and buy it. I'll drop a link in the description down below. Thank you so much for watching this video. Drop a like to show your support, and I am gonna see you guys next time.